Welcome into the Toyota Winners Lounge. This is the DNVR Avalanche podcast powered by your Front Range Toyota dealerships. The Avs win Game 3, 6-2 over the Winnipeg Jets. 5-goal third period to turn it from a 1-2 game to a 6-2 game. Whew, a lot to talk about. A lot to talk about in this game, I think. But let's hit the 60-second rundown first. I actually think the Avs started a little bit slow. I was expecting more on home ice in the first 10 minutes. It wasn't super high-paced, but you create something, a little bit of action in the offensive zone. Zach Parise finds a rebound, gets it to go home. Avs up 1-0. Second period, a couple of goals that you didn't love. Let's be honest. Tyler Toffoli tying up this game is not a great goal. Next one, you take a bad penalty, you get punished for it. On the power play, Josh Morrissey from the point, one finds the back of the net. I would say that's not a great goal, but the Avs' next goal is a power play goal, shot from the point, that goes through Hellebuck's 5-hole early in the third period. So 1 for 1 there, we'll call it even. And then the Avs just take over and basically run Winnipeg out of the building. Val Nichushkin has a power play goal, Arturi Lekonen, an insurance dagger, then why not throw a Ross Colton and a Devon Toews empty netter into the bag.
Ross Colton on the power play and Devon Toews shorthanded.
Ross Colton's was not on the power play.
Had it just ended?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's nice.
You won the special teams battle in the third period. There's no doubt about that.
You won all the battles in the third period.
We're going to go a little bit out of order tonight because I want to, so deal with it. I started to say this on the watch along. That third period, tough luck for Winnipeg or a team shrinking from the moment? Because some of those penalties, random shit happens in hockey sometimes. It's not the guy's fault that he double deflects a puck out of his own end of the ice.
Yeah.
It's not like Gabe Vilardi is trying to break Devon Toews' nose.
Yeah.
But also, that team just crumbled.
Yeah, I think that's really just it, man. I mean, when we talked about it going into this series, we said that, hey, the pressure is really on the Jets here. For one, they did all the talking before the series. And then after game 1, they did a lot more talking. And then it got a lot quieter after game 2.
Yeah.
And halfway through this game, Josh Morrissey's punching the glass, and he's shit-talking an Avs fan in the front row. I mean, you love that stuff.
It's great.
Right? You're into it.
I don't like
You're into it, right? I like that stuff. I liked it last year when Brandon Tanev blew a kiss to whoever that was.
Yeah.
Like, you're into it, but you open yourself up to the other team being like,
all right.
It's like that, huh? And at the start of that third period, oh, it was like that. Oh, it was like that. And you watched one team that knew how to win in that situation and another team that absolutely crumbled.
Yep.
Is that the moment overwhelming them, or is that just an anomaly of a weird period?
A little of both, maybe.
I don't know, but a lot of things have started to go against them. They get a nice period. They have a 2-1 lead.
Yep.
Their star goaltender is playing like a star goaltender, and then they don't even give the guy a chance in the third. I mean, they set him up for failure, and he failed.
Yep.
But that's what happens, like you're talking about, when you haven't been there, and the soup gets hot. That's when, I don't care what you say. It's not on purpose you flip the puck in the stands. It's not on purpose that you put your stick in the guy's face, but shit happens when the soup's hot. You know what I mean? So it's like, it just makes you do jittery things, you know what I mean? That you feel the pressure. And yeah, I mean, like you're saying, you like those. I don't like those things. And I loved it when he did it because I was like, all right, there we go.
Yep.
It's going to bite you in the ass now because that's how it works. Yeah, I don't know why. I'm old school. I'm older than you guys. I hate that shit. Play hard, you know what I mean? But don't think your shit don't stink. And I felt that he felt like his shit didn't stink. It was way too early in the game to be doing that. You know what I mean? And
2-1.
Yeah.
Stop
against
it.
the best home team in the NHL.
Stop.
And like, hey, you're in the moment.
Yeah.
You're excited, but you're going to talk shit to a fan in the front row.
Whatever.
You have to know that, like, that got
cameras
seen.
everywhere.
That got seen by the other bench. And they're going to be like, all right.
Also,
Like,
you didn't just style on the other team. You threw a wrist shot from the point and went in the net. Yeah, it counts the same, but come on, man.
Right, like you scored the goal,
Yeah.
fella. Good job.
Great, awesome.
But
It wasn't that special.
I always say it.
Long
even
haul
keel,
in this
under
league.
control, even keel. You know. What a fun night, though. It was awesome. The bar was hopping.
Bar was
It
banging,
was awesome.
man. It was
Yeah.
great.
Packed.
barman
Come see us
business
Sunday.
tonight, man.
Sunday 12:30 is gonna be buzzing too. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Little afternoon, some mimosas and playoff hockey.
And some French toast.
Since it's on the top of my mind, I wanted to ask Eric about this as well. The end of the game sequences. Miles Wood and Adam Lowry go at each other. I don't really have a problem with that. You have Miles getting in there, stirring up some shit. Lowry goes back at him. Fine. To me, that brawl at the end felt a little chicken shit from Winnipeg to me.
Well, you know me, I'm old school, so it's like, again, like you said, I don't mind that, but then those shenanigans are so old school, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, and then unfortunately, hopefully Brendan Dillon is, honestly, you hope that he's
don't want
fine.
anyone to get hurt.
Yeah,
we don't know.
I mean, we don't know. He got
details,
cut his
but
arm.
yeah.
I mean, it
Yeah.
stinks. You don't wish injuries on anybody. But here's what I'm going to tell you. And not because we needed that bet, AJ and I, but I've always thought,
It was a tough beat.
and again, the game's changed so much. Back then, okay, like you put your star player and then, they jump them and you're like, what are you doing? But for me, if you want to make sure nothing happens, maybe you put your star player because there's not going to be any shenanigans, and then we win our bet, right, on the ice time bet. But you know what I mean? And then if McKinnon's out there with Mikko, nothing would have happened. But then
Is that true,
is.
though? Like, are you not a little bit worried if you put them out there that the shit still happens? And
No,
then
no,
it happens to
I
your
know.
stars?
I was
And
just
then
saying.
it's
I was
McKinnon's
just,
hand that gets
Yeah,
I
checked
know.
up.
I'm talking about our bet. We
Yeah.
needed 22 more seconds of his ice time.
Would have
but-
loved that. Would have
you
loved
know.
it. Put him out there for the last 27 because Mikko shortchanged us with the penalty.
tough
Damn it,
one.
Mikko.
Yeah.
Yeah,
tough
Mikko. But yeah, I mean, I don't mind the pushback. I've always told you. Like, I know it's old school, and it's like, you got Lowry there. He's probably their toughest customer, right? And then he's going at it with Miles, and whatever. You want to show you got some pushback. You want to show, and I know it's old school what I'm saying, and it's like an old take, but whatever. I mean, I could have gone without it too. You know what I mean? But I just felt that the third period was so dominant by the Avs.
It was.
So
was.
it was like you really didn't need anything to happen to show that you're there.
Yeah,
you know what
for
I mean?
sure.
Like, you weren't there in the third period. The Avs completely dominated. So should have been there in the 20 minutes, not on after the 20th minute.
Yep. Rewind it back. Let's go all the way back to the first period. Once again, the Avs' depth continues to be critical for them in this series.
Can you go back up for a sec?
AJ's locking
Stop.
in on something. While AJ's locking in on that,
All right. Thanks.
Zach Parise scores another goal in this series for Colorado.
Yeah?
It's not a particularly pretty one, but it gets into the net.
Neither was his other one.
Not wrong. Not wrong. Is this 3 games into this series? Roughly halfway. Call it that. Have they assuaged people's fears that their depth wasn't good enough?
I mean, you have to feel. The Avs have 16 goals? 17 goals.
17
Six.
goals.
They have 17 goals in 3 games. Mikko Rantanen has 0. Nathan McKinnon has 2.
Yep.
Cale Makar has 1.
One goal. Yeah.
So if you would have told me before the start of the series that after 3 games you'd have 17 goals and Rantanen, McKinnon, and Makar would combine for 3 of them, I would have been like, oh, so the Avs are leading 3-0.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Easily could have been up 3-0.
And this conversation goes beyond just Parise. Don't get me wrong, the 2 goals are great. Miles Wood's 2 goals are great. Ross Colton had a goal tonight, too. It's not just the production, right? You look at the guys like Kiviranta and Trennan who are able to consistently give you, unfortunately for you, quality minutes. Where you don't feel like you need to play Nathan MacKinnon 28 minutes a night to go out there and win a playoff game.
Well, like you said, I was just going to talk about Trent and, like, I don't care what people say. I've always said it, and I've told you guys because I've lived it. It's tough to play 8 minutes. I'll tell you one thing. It is freaking tough because you're sitting there, and it's a long night. And
Listen to
if you're a
these
bigger body-
excuses.
No. I'm just
giving you a hard time.
I know. What I'm saying is this guy's mastering it right now. Like, I don't know what he got tonight, but what is he, 7, 8, whatever?
I'll tell you in a sec.
I mean, that's what it was last game, right? But he's always buzzing, and when he gets out there, he's buzzing, he's chasing, he's keeping it simple, he's just pushing pucks, skating into him.
Just barely broke 10 tonight.
Okay, so, again, they
PK
played a little
time.
more last at the end because it was 6-2, right? So, 8 to 10 is tough to play.
Honestly, though, 10 is like a wonderful number for your fourth line.
Yeah,
Oh,
no. Cogs played 734. Duhaime played 738.
So, Trent and
Jesus.
PKs, right?
Yeah.
More. I mean, I'm telling you, like, it was fun to watch. It was fun to watch because everybody was contributing, whether you're playing 7 or 8 minutes or whether you're playing 27, 28 like Kale did. It was fun, it was fun. You know what I mean? And it was fun. And if you're a Jets fan, then you look back and then Scheifele makes that big mistake there. You know what I mean? Then he's back checking and then he falls down. Then he scores. And I love that because that's your leader. It's like Mac, making a bad play and then puck ends up in your net. I as a team, it's deflating because you're like, oh. Obviously as a player, it's deflating, but as a team, because it's your leader. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, a lot to see, a lot to like. Sound like the arena was buzzing, which is nice. And then, tomorrow you get one of those days where you're just probably going to the rink, have a little meeting around 12, and, we'll get a nice steak dinner.
Yep.
And then be ready for a weirdo on Sunday.
You need an actual practice tomorrow because of the noon. You won't have a morning skate. You need an actual, if not a hard practice, you need a real video session.
Yep.
Oh, no, they'll have a session. They'll have a meeting.
You need to drill down into stuff because it's the last time you're going to meet before the game.
They're going to have a meeting. I don't know if they're going to get on the ice. I'll probably make it optional.
I don't give a shit if they're on the ice.
Some guys, like I said, that's what I'm
whatever.
saying. No, they'll have a meeting. That's what I'm saying. They'll have a meeting, go to the rink, get it all ready,
Yeah.
go over some stuff, and
All-time Toyota chat right there, by the way. Are the Jets a 737 Max?
I'm just going to say, I intentionally picked the exit row. Both times I flew on a 737 Max. Super comfortable.
Until the door blows off.
Yeah. If I got sucked out and died,
So be it.
so be
I
it.
would have died feeling super comfortable. Anyway.
All right. It's time for the section of the show where we talk about Alexander Georgiev. And stay with me on this. Don't get lost in where I start with this. First goal's bad. Anyone who's telling you otherwise is wrong. That is a goal that should not go in on an NHL goaltender.
There's nothing. You got no leg to stand on.
Yep. Second
It's a bad goal.
Not great. It's a shot from the point that he just never sees. I get there's a screen. It's not great.
There's a lot of screen.
And that's it. It ends at 2.
Yeah.
I said it on the watch log. I don't care how the 2 goals go in. If you only give up 2 goals, you had a very good night as a goaltender.
We had this conversation when Pavel Francouz was playing in 2022.
Yep.
That game in Edmonton specifically, Game 3, where both goals, you don't love either one of them, but it stopped at 2 and the Avs won 3-2.
Exactly.
You stop it at 2, you have to trust that the team in front of you is going to be able to score 3. It might take overtime once or twice,
But get to 3.
but get to 3 and don't allow 3. And what was so different about Georgiev tonight,
There was no
it's-
meltdown.
There was no bleeding.
Yep, exactly.
You know that it's a bad goal. The first goal is a bad goal, and all of us are on edge for the next 5
And he
minutes.
makes the next big save.
He makes one really nice save immediately after in front. It's a nice stick by
Taves, I think.
somebody
I think it was Taves.
on Sean Monahan to not
Oh,
allow
no, it was
him
Lecky.
to.
It was Lecky.
Nice job by Lecky on Sean Monahan to not allow him to shoot the rebound. All he did is just kind of push it into his pad.
Yep.
Good job by Georgiev, as Eric said on the watch along. No panic. He stayed calm. He didn't freak out. He was in control. And I think that save really helped him. And then you move on,
Yep.
you know? And yeah, they give up that goal on the power play. There were some problems. There
For
were
sure.
some frustrations. First of all, that penalty should have ended prematurely.
Pretty brutal holding the stick.
With a very blatant holding of the stick.
Yep.
How the third period went, we're good.
Yeah, I mean,
We're good.
They also didn't call the cross check to the face on Sammy. That could have been a 5-on-3.
Yes.
Like, it's whatever.
But ultimately, the officiating goes your way at the end of the game. But they capitalize on it. I mean, and it's not really any judgment calls were involved in
they
that.
were all pretty obvious.
Yeah.
Half the call
Autos.
penalties.
Blatant
Autos.
trip, a 4-minute that initially they were getting away with,
Yeah.
a 4-minute attempted decapitation of Devon Toews, and then another trip, and you're just like, y'all are doing, and a delay a game, like y'all are doing this. So what do you want?
Yep.
So, you know, and I'll be curious to actually go through. I haven't looked yet, but I will be curious to go through and see what kind of end game penalties got assessed, just out of curiosity.
Yep.
But for Alexander Georgiev, back-to-back really strong performances.
And I know, look, there were certainly problems for Winnipeg, but you look at Georgiev, he gives up those two, and he doesn't allow another one. And then you look at the other guy on the other side of the ice. He gives up the bad one from Mackinnon to make it 2-2. Sure, there are penalties taken out of his control for the Avs to make it 3-2. And then he just falls over?
Yeah.
Like, what happens on that goal for Connor Hellebuck?
Yeah.
Val goal, right?
Yeah,
Or
the
Val goal.
second power play goal, the Nichushkin one. And I get you're on a penalty kill, but Hellebuck collapsed in a way that Georgiev did not in this game. And I know, I'm not saying those are easy saves to make, but Hellebuck looked like a fish out of water on that goal. So
That was one where we were all looking at each other like,
what just happened?
because we were all assuming just how twisted up he was that somebody had run into him.
Yeah,
and then
we were like, oh, is there going to be a challenge or something?
We watch
Like,
it back and it's like,
Where, what? Huh?
why you turn yourself into corkscrew?
But I simplify it too, you know. And I said I won't put it in my keys, and I haven't. But it's, again, who won the special teams battle?
The Avs.
The
And
Avs.
who won the goaltending battle?
The Avs.
There you go.
The
But
Avs.
that's what I'm saying. You win those two, you are in damn good shape usually, especially in playoffs. You know what I mean? So I love the fact that the Avs have, you know, what do they got? Almost 40 shots on net again tonight, or
I think they
so
did.
all three games, like they're
Something
right there
close,
around
yeah.
4.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it's crazy.
Yeah,
like
no,
they're
40 exactly. Yeah.
so they
Yeah.
have the puck. That means they're generating.
Allowed 24.
So they're not allowing much, right? 22 was the first game. 23 tonight. Last
Do you
game
have
was what,
the
23?
advanced numbers if we want to just get into some numbers right now? Or
I looked at them, but I will say they're really weird because the entire third period was penalties.
Sure.
So the 5v5 numbers, and after the penalties, the Avs had a 5-2 lead. So,
I'm still curious to know what they are, though.
yeah, so they were fine through 2 periods. The Avs had a little bit of a territorial advantage.
Okay.
High danger chances were Winnipeg because they had an 8-1 advantage in the second period.
Yep.
But then the third period is all Jets at 5v5 because, again,
Score effects were a thing. Yeah.
because after they came out of the penalty parade, the game, instead of being 2-1, 2-2, was 5-2.
Yep.
Yeah.
Still interesting to know that
I guess 4-2.
confirming some things like, hey, guess what? The Avs didn't have a very good second period.
Yeah, I mean, it was okay. It was one of their worst periods. I would say their worst period of the series, just in terms of like quality of play.
Sure.
But when you have a goaltender, just erase those mistakes that you make. It doesn't matter. For context, the Avs allowed more high danger chances at 5v5 in the second period of tonight's game than they did the whole game in game 1.
Yep. And guess what? They got saves tonight.
And the difference is saves.
Yep.
Georgiev stepped up in those moments and stopped them. And the Avs win running away instead of getting into some crazy-ass shootout.
Yep.
Well, I like the fact that they lost, like Rudo said, like after the second. They lost the second period 2-0, right? You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like on the scoreboard. But I like in playoffs, when you make it a little bit, it's a comeback win, whether you want to slice it or not. Like the way you want to slice it, it's a comeback win. You're down by a goal.
You're down 2-1 going into the third period. That's a comeback win.
That's a comeback win. That's what I'm saying. So it makes you feel good as a team, and on the flip side, makes you feel like shit as a team if you're Winnipeg, because you're like, man, we're in their building, we're up 2-1, we take 5 shitburger penalties in the first 10 minutes of
it's the best
period.
they've played in the series in terms of
until the
process.
third period.
Yeah.
Right, but I mean, going into the third, that's what they should feel maximum confidence.
Yep.
So that's why I say you feel like such dog shit as a team. You know what I mean? Because you're like, oh, we blew it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and then the Avs on the other side are like, wow, we know we can come back, and we know that they've made comebacks all year long. I mean, this is nothing new.
Nope.
But in playoffs is a different animal. We always say put everything out the window from the regular season, but here they are. They did it again tonight, right? Did it again tonight. So
I don't know why we have to talk about it every year, but we really do.
Yep.
That the regular season, when you get into the postseason,
It's
you
a
get into a
different
best
animal.
7.
Yep.
You are planning specifically for one opponent. You are line matching. There's a reason why we don't talk about line matching during the regular season.
It's a one-game series.
As soon as the playoffs begin, it becomes a huge part of the equation.
Yep. And guess who owned Mark Scheifele tonight? We'll get to him.
Yeah. I want to get into the 3 stars and get into a lot more of that.
Before we do that, let me tell you about my friend Coors Light. That game was intense. I'm not going to lie to you. There was a lot of pressure throughout that hockey game. But you know what happens when Devon Toews puts a puck into an empty net to make a game 6-2?
I finally relax.
Yeah, it's chill time at that point. That's why I got myself an ice cold Coors Light. The mountains turn blue to let you know it's time to chill. Go get yourself some, or better yet, stay at home and get it ordered to your front door with Instacart over at CoorsLight.com/DNVR. Great beer, obviously. We love it here in Colorado, brewed right here in Golden. Can't go wrong when you're trying to chill. Go grab yourself some. If you don't want to get it delivered, you can get it at your local liquor store. Coors Light, the beer made to chill. It's what I reach for when the Avs put it into cruise control. Go get it at CoorsLight.com/DNVR. Of course, brought to you by Coors Brewing Company. Please party responsibly, and brewed right here in Golden, Colorado. Once you got a Coors Light in your hand, let's go to Vegas. Why not? Why not? Let's go to Vegas. If the Avs do, and I'm not saying they will, but if they do win this series, pretty decent chance they end up playing Vegas. If you want to go out there, you want to go catch a game on the road, great building to catch a game in, by the way. Take the playoff plunge with Circa. Go get yourself a stay in Circa. Use code DNVR20 to get 20% off your stay at circasports.com. They've got Stadium Swim. Even if you're not going to the games, watching it in a pool with a 90-foot television, not a bad look. Not a bad look at all.
not 90-inch, 90-foot.
Yeah, 90 foot. They also have a 3-level sports book, so a great way to catch a game there, too. Over 7,000 square feet of casino and tons of different varieties of rooms, something for everyone. So go book your stay with Circa and take the playoff plunge today. Again, DNVR20 code at circasports.com to get your 20% off your stay. Second period of the DNVR Avalanche podcast. Let's not make these wait anymore. You guys got us to over 200 likes there. Thank you very much.
Immediately.
Some winner shots, playoff-style winner shots from Dr. Dubs. They've been taking their vitamin W.
A shot glass that Rudo can actually handle.
It's just not full to the brim, all right? Whew.
I like those shot glasses. They're fun.
All right. Let's get into those 3 stars. Starting with star number 3, Nathan Mackinnon. Did he have the best game in the world? No. Was he also about 2 inches away from having a 4-point night? Yes.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking going into the third period, everybody's mad. Nathan McKinnon, Nathan McKinnon, you know? We were that way, so this is not a judgment.
Yeah, no,
we
same,
were that way. But he hits 2 posts in the first period, and then in the third period, he scores the tying goal at the beginning of the period.
That's pretty fortunate.
Gets it. Hey, you know what? It's pretty fortunate for Josh Morrissey.
True.
Josh Morrissey saw that and decided to start talking shit to people. So
Nathan put his head down and went and got another point.
exactly. So. And so that's a third period. You're down 2-1, and your MVP candidate has a 2-point period.
Big time.
That's what you want.
Yep.
That is why you are now 2-1 in the series. That is why.
Eric, and be honest here, as a player, you're in that situation. You're down 2-1, big playoff game. Is everyone really on that bench looking at Mackinnon? How many guys are sitting there saying, I want it to be me? And honestly, how many guys are sitting there saying, we need our big gun to go do it? In your time, I guess it would have been Joe Sakic, not Nathan MacKinnon. But
I said it there. I remember I said, you want to help those guys out, but then you're sitting on the bench, so there's nothing you can do about it because you're on the bench, and then you're watching those guys, and you're like, come on. You pull for them because they live for the big moment. They just do. Those guys do. That's why Joe's got, what, 8 overtime freaking goals in playoffs. Like, it's ridiculous. Those guys, well, first of all, they got more ice, they got more opportunities, and they have more talent, right? So they have a better chance to end it when the puck's on their stick, to end the game.
True.
No offense to Miles Wood, but big difference, like Miles gets the puck in the slot or Mikko Rantanen. I mean, to end the game, what do you think? You know what I mean? Like, so the talent level's a little higher. But yeah, I mean, it's fun to be out there. It's fun to be. Playoffs are so unreal because it's such an emotional roller coaster. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous. Like, think of you're an AF tonight. You're in the shower, you're going home, you feel so awesome. You're a Winnipeg Jet, you feel like shit. You know what I mean? You do, because you blew it, but you have to go to bed, and man, it's tough to go to bed, good or bad, because you're so hyped up, right? And then the next day, you got to be able to just erase it and go back and start again, good or bad. And that's the toughest part of playoffs, and that's why experience matters. It just does. It just does.
Well, I think the experience, I just want to build off this really quickly, but the experience of what happened last year for both of these teams.
Yes.
Because the Avs lose game 1, they win games 2 and 3. The difference is game 4 is in Denver this year, not on the road.
That's right.
For Winnipeg, it's a very familiar situation.
Yeah.
They won game 1 last year. Lost the rest of the series.
And 4 and 5.
They lost the rest of the series and got worse as the series went on. This was their best played game, and they collapsed.
Yeah.
They collapsed at the end of it.
Yep.
Emotionally, you're talking about the team with championship experience, the team with the superstar advantage, the team with, so far, the better goaltender.
Which is a surprise.
And the better scoring depth.
Yeah.
Is leading in the series and is looking at it going, we should be up 3-0.
Yep.
They're the ones looking at game 1 as a missed advantage and not as a, man,
we're barely clinging to the series right now. Yeah.
Exactly. And so you're going into game 4. So you talk about that experience. One team has the momentum, smells blood in the water, and that's the team that's won something in this league. And the other team is going to start seeing ghosts.
Yep.
And that's game 4. We all know at 12:30, it's a weird time to play an NHL game. But it is going to be a major character test for the Winnipeg Jets.
Critical for them.
That doesn't mean that they're going to go out and guaranteed to lose. But if they go out and they fight their asses off, knowing that their season is essentially on the line.
If they don't get it done.
Except they don't get it done, they're down 3-1, and the Avs have 3 shots to try and put them home.
Yep.
But knowing that their season is essentially on the line, all of it, if we don't see the very best of the Winnipeg Jets on Sunday,
forget it.
I'll be shocked.
Yeah.
But it will also tell Kevin Cheveldayoff every single thing he needs to know about this group.
This team might look pretty different if it doesn't go their way.
And I'll just add that, we expected Hellebuyck to be unbelievable tonight.
He was for 2 periods.
He was for freaking 2 periods, and then all of a sudden it just the dam open.
Which brings us to our second star of the game in this one. I have 2 numbers to read you. Number 1, 917. Number 2, 872.
Tell me which guy got which. Who's player A? Who's player B? I had player A is the one who won.
You are now talking about 2 of 3 games where Georgiev hasn't just outplayed Connor Hellebuyck. He's outplayed him significantly. And sure, Connor Hellebuyck had penalty kills. Connor Hellebuyck faced a bunch more shots. Sure. But that's how the Winnipeg Jets are built. They're built for Hellebuyck to bail them out.
It was their whole thing all year. Oh, the Jets killed. They don't give up goals. Oh, they went 29 straight games without giving up more than 3 goals.
Yeah.
oh, they tied for the William Jennings Trophy, which is the fewest goals given up as a team. Oh, their defense, there's this, there's that. Where's it been? Tonight, the Jets got the style of game they wanted and lost 6-2.
Yep.
Because their discipline, their penalty kill, we talked in going into the series, their special teams suck.
They're bad. They're just bad.
Both sides of them are bad. It's not like it's one then the other. Okay, well, they were winning the special teams battle going into the third. They collapsed.
Yep.
Collapsed in that third period.
Was not close.
They didn't really make the Avs go win this game so much as they just scooped it up, handed it to them, and said, here, have a 2-1 series lead. Yep. And the Avs said, bloop, thank you very much.
We will take that. We do not mind.
We will get out of the way and take what has been given to us. Thank you.
And look, it's a guy 2 games ago who gave up 7 on 23. And I was done.
Sam.
I was ready to play anybody else. And he goes and gives up 2 in game 2, and he gives up 2 in game 3. 2 on 24 tonight.
Yep. So game 1, 7 goals. Games 2 and 3, 4 goals.
Pretty
Which
good.
games did they win?
And look,
Not sure.
Eric, I know you're not in love with some of how it looks, a little bit squirrely at times with Georgiev, but he's getting the job done, man.
As long as it doesn't go in. I mean, I'm all... As long as it doesn't go in. But if the Avs can keep playing this way, and what do I mean by that is, for me, it's not just shots on net. But it is somewhere, somehow. Like, they're dominating the play, for me, overall, in 3 games.
Shots in this ended up 40-24.
It was
that's
not close.
That's all. But I'm not just you going. Yeah, you can shoot a puck from the red line, but I just feel that the Avs are more dangerous than the Jets so far in the series, and that's my point.
The Avs won this game 6-2, and McKinnon hit 2 posts, and Mikko failed to score on a breakaway.
No, that's my point. Like, I feel like, so I'm not being nervous. You know what I mean? So we just need him to be good. That's it. Just be good. Like you said, 2 and under, it's fine. You should be all right with that offense. With the team they have, and
I'll take 2 goals allowed by Georgiev every playoff game the rest of the postseason.
Absolutely.
Well said.
No complaints.
Well said.
Give it to me, Georgie.
And number 1, what a monster this guy was in the third period.
40 minutes into this pod, I haven't talked about him at all.
I haven't even mentioned Casey Mittlestadt with a 3 assists tonight.
Casey Mittlestadt was the best skater on the ice for both teams, and I don't think it was close.
Whose eater was this?
It was mine until I gave it to you.
Hey, you passed. I gave you the chance, buddy.
You know who else passed? Casey Mittlestadt
No
for 3
kidding.
assists tonight, and all of them ruled. And his best play of the night almost resulted in an amazing highlight reel goal.
Should have been between his own legs to the backhand.
Awesome play.
And
Not quite there. Duh.
was just and on a night where, unfortunately, I think for the 3rd game in a row, we're asking for a little bit more out of Mikko Rantanen. You know what? Not having a great version of Mikko isn't quite so bad when you have a 3-point night out of your second-line center.
When your 2C plays. Okay. I want to get past the obvious, and I want to get into the specifics of this.
Sure.
I talked about this on our off-day pod yesterday.
Yep.
And said, I want Casey Mittlestadt hard matched against Mark Scheifele as often as possible tonight.
Guess
Mark
what?
Scheifele is their 1C. That is the matchup that I wanted. I wanted Nathan MacKinnon matched against whoever I don't care. Let him be. Not against Scheifele, against the other ones. Casey Mittlestadt tonight beats up Mark Scheifele again. Wins that matchup.
Dominates it, to be honest. I don't care about
It got skewed at the end.
some pucks went in the net for one guy. Some pucks did not go in the net for the other guy.
It got skewed a little bit at the end, but Casey Mittlestadt wins that matchup. They tried. Okay, that's not working.
How do we get
And you
Scheifele
saw-
out there? Yeah.
You saw as the game went on, they kept trying to sneak out. As soon as Mittelstadt's line got off the ice,
Scheif's
on comes
jumping
Mark
on,
Scheifele.
yeah.
And so Jared Bednar said, all right, I see what's happening here. You're trying to get them out against another line. I'll give it to you. Have Ross Colton. Ross Colton's line beats Mark Scheifele. This is the problem with the Winnipeg Jets. Your best and most reliable center cannot be Adam Lowry.
Yep.
Has 2 goals in the first game. Fabu, where's he been? He's been taking the Nathan MacKinnon assignment, and the story in Winnipeg has been, what a great job Adam Lowry's doing.
Another 2 points tonight, by the way.
Look at him go. He's handling it. In terms of shot metrics, he's losing to Nathan MacKinnon. He breaks even-ish again tonight.
But gets I know they're power play points.
The quality favors Adam Lowry tonight because of high danger chances and because that Avalanche top line took a while to get going. But by the third period, regardless of whatever those numbers say, when you're watching Nathan MacKinnon take over the game, and Adam Lowry, 1, goes into the penalty box.
Bad look, buddy.
And 2, gets thrown out of the game at the end. You're like, this is your Lord and Savior? This is your guy. You got an MVP of the NHL and a guy that might get some down ballot Selke votes from Winnipeg writers.
Megan said he gave her a 5th place vote.
This is why you're in this position. Adam Lowry's great. I love him. Coming into the series, I said he is my favorite 3C in the NHL.
But he's still a 3C.
He cannot do this head to head against Nathan MacKinnon and that be the only thing. Their only play is that Darvin Ham on the bench behind the Jets bench. Do you have nothing else in store for the Avalanche? This is your only offering because this was the plan in Winnipeg. They come back to Denver and Jared Bednar says, "This is what you want. I'll keep giving it to you. Sounds good to me." And then he punishes Rick Bowness with Casey Mittlestadt over and over and over and over against Mark Scheifele. Mark Scheifele gets his doors blown off by Casey Mittlestadt. So Rick Bowness has to start trying to figure it out. All right, I'm going to put Ross Colton out there. Bednar says, I'm going to put Ross Colton out there. Who has the lazy turnover at the blue line that turns into the Arturi Lekonen dagger 5th goal? It's Mark Scheifele.
Oops.
That's your 1C. That's the guy you signed to a big money deal in the offseason. You finally convinced one to stay. That's the guy that you are now riding and dying with. And if it's going to continue like this, it is death.
It's dying.
It is death. Mark Scheifele owes all of them way better than he is giving. Because him getting rocked by Casey Mittlestadt is unacceptable for where he is getting paid, his importance to that franchise.
Yep.
And I know this is about Casey Mittlestadt because Casey Mittlestadt blew his doors off.
Absolutely.
And was awesome tonight. He was awesome.
Here's what I'll say about Mittlestadt. We talked about it on the pregame. So if you weren't listening, then fine. I'll say it again. Last guy on the ice for the Avalanche. Everybody gone. Working with Toby Peterson on picking up pucks off the wall. And like I said, last guy to get off. Just soaking every moment in. You know what I mean? His first playoff.
Yep.
Again, I said last year, Jack Eichel can't play in the playoffs. There's no way this guy can. Again, he went. I mean, you know what I mean?
I was laughing because Altitude said Casey's first multi-point playoff game of his career. Yeah, because he's played 3.
Yeah, but
There's 4 points in 3
But you
playoff
can
games.
tell he's enjoying the moment. He's enjoying.
exactly.
He's soaking it all in. I could see it this morning watching pregame skate, and you know when you picked him before the game as your Circle K eater, I was like, I like that because you're like, you know, he's gonna have a big one, and there's a challenge thrown at him. He's answering the challenge, and it's not just about points. It's just making plays and feeling confident. It's awesome to watch.
He gets the first point. Where is he? That's not a super sexy pass
No.
across the ice and whatever.
He had
Like
some
his
of
third
those
point.
too, but
His first point is just a great play at the blue line.
yep.
If we're not gonna have a Mitts whatever T-shirt, then that's fine.
Give us time.
Then
Give us
I'm going to
time.
get my youngest. I'm going to buy him a jersey tomorrow. It's going to be Mittlestadt, my new favorite player. I'm being honest. You know what I mean? Like, it's so fun to watch. And it's like I said, he's embracing it, and I'm loving every minute of it.
I want to
watch.
reiterate what you said before we went live. Nothing against the guy. Great kid. Is anybody missing Bowen Byram tonight?
I don't want to do this.
The answer is no.
Just me personally.
It's fine. Again, Boneheim's great. I'm sure he'll go have a great career in Buffalo or wherever else he goes. But Colorado feels great about that trade tonight.
What I do want to ask Eric about this aspect.
Sure.
This aspect of Mittlestadt. Is there something to getting guys out of these playoff black holes that are there for 3, 4, 5 years?
They're amped for
and
their
then
first
you
go.
get them into a postseason, and they are so jacked up knowing that this is hard. It's hard to even get here. It's special when you're here. And when you're on a good team, boy, do you know the difference. Is there something to mentally a guy like that being extra locked in just because he's had to live through the other side?
Yes, and on top of it, because when you get there, when I say there, meaning here, there's a core in place that's one, and that are special players. And throw Gabe in there too. You know, Gabe's in there. Gabe's around. You got Kale. You got Mikko. Mikko is, we complain about him, but you got Mac. It's a special feeling because those guys have done it. They know how to do it. Hey, I've always said that before. You can play 20 years in the NHL, think that you know how to do it, and you have no idea.
Yeah.
And that's why you've never won either. And then you come to a place like Ray. Just look at Ray. You come to a place and you're like, oh shit. No, this is how it's done. You know what I mean? And then you go and then Zach Parise. I don't care. He's played 1,200 games. He's in there now. He's learning from those guys. He's learning from Cale Makar. That's 25 years old. Parise is 39. You're learning from guys how to play in the moment, how to stay in the moment, how to be even keel.
You lived this.
Yeah.
Because those Kings teams that you were on.
Shitty. But we were bad.
Okay, I was going to use that word.
Said it.
Yeah, I was just going to say not great.
Unbelievable guys like Wayne and guys like that have done it, but we just weren't together as a team. It was weird. Like, it was just like, I'm not blaming anyone. It just didn't mesh. It didn't pan
coalesce.
out. Then you come to this team and you're like, oh shit, this is how it is. It's amazing, and it is amazing, and that's why for Mittlestadt it's awesome. For Parise, it's awesome because Parise has never won anything. So you know what? Now you come in here. It's not like you're the guy and you're the leader. No, you fall in rank, and then you just follow suit of what those guys are doing.
Just do that one job they're asking you.
That's it.
Yeah,
you don't
that's
have
what it is.
That's
You're not
it.
carrying anything. There are guys to do that. Just do your job. And Casey Mittlestadt, I think, is starting to get an idea of, I don't have to be. They don't give a shit that I was a top 10 pick here. They don't give a half the team was a top 10 pick in this organization. They don't give a shit.
But
How many that I haven't scored in 2 games or whatever. I just need to do the job they brought me in to do, and we will be successful.
And I'll tell you, it's easier said than done. What I've been talking about, staying even keel, starts at the top.
Yep.
You got Joe, you got C-Mac. They've done it. And then just your demeanor in the area by the locker room, on the bus, on the plane, and it just trickles down. Bednar and his staff have been masterful for a few years now. I don't care if you like them or not, if you think he's a good back coach. That's coaching for me. Your demeanor, the way you handle your group, the way you have to be even keel. You know how hard it is? Like, think of Rick Bowness tonight. No, how hard it is to be even keel tonight because you just blew it. It's tough as shit. It is. So, hats off to those guys, and, good or bad, even keel.
Right after we do all this, just remind me to come back to Rick Bonus. That's all.
Okay.
Sure.
We're gonna hear from Casey Mittlestadt too, but let's do these winner shots first. So
And then I'm just going to add something, too. I didn't pick the 3 stars. That's BS. You guys don't like French guys. Sammy G's the man.
G was
Sammy
great.
G's the
we'll
man.
talk about him.
We're gonna
I don't care. You guys
Just-
don't like French people.
relax, Chief.
They don't like French people.
Let's hear from Casey Mittlestadt and Ross Colton here first.
Good to go. Start with Ryan.
This is for either one of you. You think about that third period. Yes, there's the power play, but what are those things that you think allowed you to not only pull ahead in the third, but play in such a way where you made it so hard for them to even try to come back?
Yeah, I think, for us, being down 1 in the third there, we didn't sit back on our heels, and I think we kind of just took it to them. And, when we play with that speed, we play with that energy, we're a good team, and Obviously we had some power plays there, but, we drew them with hard work and, getting in on the forecheck and kind of, putting them under pressure. So it all starts with that. So I think credit to the guys in the room for just, sticking with the process and kind of, putting ourselves in a good situation.
Josie?
Casey, you played with Zach Parise tonight, and obviously he plays a lot of passion, a lot of energies. How much did your line feed off of what he was doing?
Yeah, I think everyone in the room looks up to Zach, me especially, being a Minnesota kid. So it was an honor to play with him, and he did a heck of a job. He's flying around out there, hitting guys, making plays. So he made my job easy tonight.
Evan?
Sam Jordan missed a couple weeks with a concussion and stepped right into the lineup tonight, just seamlessly in the playoffs. Could you just talk about him and what kind of an impact he makes on the defense?
Yeah, no, G's huge. He's a big part of this team. Obviously, he was, a huge part of that team when they won the Cup. So, anytime we have a guy out of the lineup, it's obviously tough. But, we have a deep locker room and kind of just next guy up mentality. So, give a lot of credit to Jonesy, who stepped up in games 1 and 2 and played, phenomenal for us. But, having G back there is just, he's another guy who gets up in the offense. He was a big part of that goal that we scored there at the end of that power play. So, he kind of looked, right at home there.
Eric?
Casey, you touched on Zach Parise, but between him, Lekonen, and Val, the 3 wingers you've played with, that's a lot of playoff experience. How much of those guys helped you kind of adjust in these 3 games? And then two-parter, second part, you spoke this morning about high expectations for the crowd. Where did that, did they meet that?
Yeah, I think especially Lecky's kind of been pretty consistent. He's been talking to me a ton and helped me out. I think there's a little bit of a rough patch just trying to figure out where I am, and I definitely owe Lecky a lot for that, and the other 2 guys as well. On the other side, yeah, the crowd was insane. So my high expectations were blown out of the water for sure.
Colleen?
Casey, you've talked about just getting more comfortable with the system and feeling like you were overthinking it first and just kind of not doing that. Was that like the epitome of you following your instincts tonight and just being really dialed in on that?
Yeah, I think so. I think, you get more comfortable, just keep playing, and eventually those things take over. And especially in a big game like that, I think you got to go out there and just play. It's do or die. So, yeah, I think you could say that. And obviously, like we've said, Lecky and Zach had huge games, and they were feeding me the puck all over. So a lot of credit to them.
Megan?
Ross, when the emotions boil over at the end of that game, obviously the Jets are taking penalties, but even after the final buzzer, what is your view of that? Do you see that as a vulnerability that you could take advantage of going into Game 4?
Yeah, I don't know. It's tough. Obviously, it's a physical game. I think, for them, they, played a good game and then kind of boils over in the third and kind of emotions run high, and I think they're just trying to set the tone for the next one. So for us, we just want to play our game. We kind of don't want to get involved in that stuff. We want to play between the whistles. We had a lot of time there to play physical, play our game. I thought we did a really good job of that. So for us, we kind of just want to stay out of that stuff.
Last 2, Ryan and DMAC.
This is for either one of you again. Yes, there's the 2 goals you give up, but given all the contributions you had from everyone in the lineup, is this almost close, or if not the perfect game in a sense, or is it still you're kind of far away from that word?
Yeah, I think I think we definitely could have maybe played better in the first and even parts of the second. I thought, like Coach said, in between periods, like halfway through the second, thought we found our rhythm and found our game and started pinning them back a little bit. And I thought that carried over into the third. But yeah, since I've been here, I thought the third was maybe the best period we've played. So from there, though, I think we can maybe have a little better start and just keep playing.
When you guys see blood scraped off the ice, does it change anything in your mentality?
Yeah, you kind of just hope that everyone's okay. There was a lot of blood there, so I don't know. I think it was Dylan, maybe.
Yeah, I think so.
Obviously it's a battle out there, and he's a warrior. So hopefully he's okay for the next game.
Thanks, guys. Jared will be here in a second.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
There you go, the man of the hour, Casey Mittlestadt. There, if you want to be the man of the hour in your rec sports, do it with Volo Sports. Sign up for the Volo Pass today.
You said your rec sports?
Yeah.
And my brain heard Erect Sports, and I was like, what is happening?
I'm not touching that one.
Yeah, I
I'm
was
going
like-
to Volo Pass instead.
After dark.
Yeah, I was
It
like,
is
what?
after dark.
What is wrong with
True
you?
enough.
Bravo one.
Volo Pass just $20 a month, and you can get it for $10 a month for the first 3 months when you use code DNVR3 on the Volo app to get signed up today. Unlimited drop-ins, pickups, tournaments, you name it, you can get it all with Volo on any sport, from bowling to flag football to basketball to softball and a dozen others. You've got all sorts of sports to get to. They're the biggest social sports company in the country. You can even use the Volo Pass in other cities. If you travel a lot and you're just going into a city and you want to have a drop-in and get to know some people, Volo's got you covered. So download their app today and use that DNVR3 pass code to get $10 off the Volo Pass. And then, if you are traveling, if you are enjoying life, if you're coming out to the DNVR bar, you don't want to be worrying about your house when you do. So give a call to Lavello Construction. You can call them or use the QR code on screen right now, and you can get a quote in under a minute from Lavello. Everything exterior of your house. Roofs, gutters, siding, you name it, Lavello has you covered.
Had one of those crazy Colorado thunderstorms today.
Yeah. I heard it was hailing in Lakewood, so
Yep.
a little bit of maybe check for damage.
Yep. Always check for damage.
And I'm not saying that you should do this, but turns out if you need a new roof, house insurance will cover a lot of it.
Nice.
Just had a hailstorm. You know, math adds up. Just saying. Get with Lavello, scan that QR code below, or call 303-578-8551 today to get your quote in under a minute. It'll be quicker than Connor Hellebuck giving an 870 save percentage.
Coughing up a 2-1 lead and getting run out of the building.
Hey.
Oh, it took 20 minutes.
Third period, that's true, of the DNVR Avalanche podcast. AJ, you wanted to touch on Rick Bowness and this coaching battle. Eric, you wanted to talk about Sam Girard.
Did. I don't remember.
I honestly, though, for the Avs defense, Sam Girard brought them some real stability tonight. And not his play alone was great, but it goes beyond that, right?
It's what I said yesterday in the pod. Different player, but it's when Lecky came back from it just stabilizes everything. You know what I mean? At the forward group. Now Sammy comes back, stabilizes everything on the back end. People are put in the right slots. Minutes are taken. It's what do you get? 20 minutes? I mean, it's always the same, right? So he just stabilizes it back there. He makes a great play there on the which goal was it? Colton goal.
Yep.
He plays hard. He was intense tonight. He was involved in the game. Again, nothing wrong with Caleb Jones. It's just you're talking about a different caliber defense, and that's a big piece missing. You know what I mean? When he's not there.
I know we don't read too much into this statistic, but on a night, Avs scored 6 goals.
Don't you dare cite plus minus.
I'm about to. 2 of them
Yes.
come on the power play.
Cut his mic.
One of them comes into a shorthanded. Sam Girard in 21 minutes was a +3.
There you go. I thought he was awesome. I thought Sammy was awesome.
It's fine. All good.
The part about Sammy Girard tonight that I really, really loved, that speaks to how he got there.
Sure.
All of the good feelings that Eric feels. But this was the most effective forecheck that the Jets have gotten going in this series.
True.
And you saw, there is no accident that when you go and you look at the underlying numbers, you look at the shot share, Sam Girard destroys tonight. Not breaks even.
Owns.
Not is, he's, plus 17, minus 14. Destroys. He is out there for all kinds of good and very little bad.
Yep.
And that is specifically because his skill set is designed, in particular, to attack teams that want to forecheck like that. He's very elusive. That is exactly. He's like, look, he has to duck the contact.
Yep.
We all know that. He has to avoid the contact. But if he does, do it again. Boom.
And if you have a chance, and I know Rudo will because he's going to do a freaking review on all the goals, go back to the first goal, the Parise goal. It's exactly what you're
Sammy
talking about.
The
You're
breakout.
up the ice.
It's the breakout.
And he gets stamped afterwards, right? He takes the He take the old saying, takes the hit to make a play, and then it's 200 foot from the net, but 4 or 5 seconds later, the puck's in the net, and it's because of that. When he's not around, you miss those plays. You miss those 21 minutes that he's on the ice because it's a difference maker.
And you're talking about. This is obviously no offense to Sean Walker, Josh Manson, Jack Johnson, Caleb Jones. That is a specific skill set that meshes perfectly with how the Avalanche want to play. It is why Sam Girard is particularly valuable in Colorado.
Yep.
And why he would not be valuable if he went to, say, Vegas.
They don't play that style.
If he went to Nashville or Florida, he would be great. But he has to go to a team that plays a certain kind of style.
Yep.
Well said.
And the Avs happen to be very good in that style. So Sam Girard, when he's playing well, he pops off. He plays that kind of style.
He does.
Yahtzee.
It's great.
The guy's great.
Can I just say I love that sometimes Eric speaks a different language when we're watching hockey.
Yeah.
If you're following the watch along, I think it was a Jets 3-on-2, and no one was covering the backdoor guy, and Eric's pointing over here and going. It's awesome. It's incredible because you played the game. You were a scout. You know what you're looking at, and it's just funny how it comes across.
Oh
so
my God.
I
That's
appreciate
the goalie
that.
dad in you. And
There you go.
Because you see too many movies now. You're like, oh shit, I've seen this movie before. It's coming.
The Rick Bonus thought come back. Or are we moving on?
Yeah, so you know who Rick Bonus reminds me of?
Who's that?
I don't know why it is. I always compare hockey stuff to NBA stuff. It's not intentional, but he reminds me of Doc Rivers. So, yeah, Doc Rivers, if you're familiar, and if you're probably laughing, and if you're not, I'm about to explain. Very famous, very popular coach in the NBA, keeps getting jobs, keeps choking in the postseason. And famously, when things start to go south, puts his hands in his pockets, or he just crosses his arms and just watches his team collapse.
The world get lit on fire.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There isn't anything he can do about it. And every time they cut to Rick Bonus on the bench tonight, I kept expecting him to be freaking out because his team is just throwing the game away. He's just standing there. And that, to me, looked like a man who accepted the inevitable tonight. Not in the series, but tonight. My team has thrown this away. I am going to yell at a lot of them tomorrow. I can't do anything to stop this train wreck. I just have to accept this. And when you are talking about an emotionally volatile coach, Eric, help me out on this one, but Rick Bonus has had some screaming fits in his day. He gets after it sometimes during games when he wants to get his team fired up. But when you have a really emotionally volatile coach like that, for him to do and say nothing in the third period, doesn't that just tell his team we're done?
Oh, yeah.
Versus, because we always talk about Jared Bednar, there's always the section of people that get frustrated when
he's never up, he's never
when
down.
When things go south, they're like, why don't you just scream at somebody? I want to scream at somebody. Why don't you? But it's the difference to me. The difference in those two personality types is that Jared Bednar's team is never going to go like this because teams are typically a reflection of the coach's identity.
Yes.
And when you see an emotionally charged up coach like that just accepting defeat, so does his team. And that is what you saw tonight with the Winnipeg Jets.
And if I can add to that is...
Please do.
We were just talking about Bednar earlier, right? That's why I love it. That is so tough to do. Again, I'm talking about in public. I'm sure you get in the coach's office. Boy, I've seen it, man. There's so much tension. You get in there, you're like, oh, I'm sure sometimes a few F-bombs and F this guy and F that guy. And you're behind closed doors. It's all good, man. It's normal. It's human nature. You're just being a person. You're being a human being.
Yeah.
But I love the fact that it never comes out. You know what I mean? Publicly.
Yeah.
And if it can add to a bonus, I mean, if you saw last year in the playoffs, he lost his shit on his team at the end of the year, And if I can add, even maybe Sheldon Keefe, I feel that Bedsy's got the edge on all those guys because of his ability to be even keel and his ability to never show. behind the bench or behind a microphone, I'm sure there's the different things that he says behind closed doors in his office. But publicly, it's totally different, and I think the demeanor is so important.
Agreed.
I think it's the Avs have obviously only gotten out of the second round one time under Jared Bednar.
Yeah.
It drives me crazy when this fan base especially just dismisses getting to the second
As
round.
if it's some God-given right to do that.
Exactly.
You're a top 8 team in the league.
I've never gone and looked at the numbers, but I truly wonder how many head coaches have a winning percentage over 600 in the postseason.
Can't be many, man.
With more than 50 games coached.
Not a lot.
Because that's the territory that he's sitting in right now.
Yep.
He's pretty good at this. And it's interesting to watch when you get into the line matching and you get into these things. That's coaching.
100%.
One other thing I wanted to mention. Guys at the top of the production list for the Avs in these playoffs so far. Cale Makar, still leading the team with an assist tonight. He's pretty good. Nathan MacKinnon's up to 5 points in 3 games. Pretty good.
Really shutting him down.
Third guy on that list, Arturi Lekonen.
Yeah.
With 3 goals. And I know tonight, he's the guy who gets rewarded, gets to put it into an empty net, basically. But he's up there. He gets himself into that play. And he's been nails for the Colorado Avalanche.
Yeah.
This, not just the 3 playoff games, but the last month of the season, too.
Best player in game 2 for them. And one of the guys that at least helped make it interesting in game 1.
Yep.
But even on that goal that he scored, that shows you how smart he is, because he's not the fastest guy. He's not the most guy with the guy with the best ability.
Yeah.
What does he do? He just throws the grenade to freaking who? The artist, Mittlestadt, because he knows. And DeMello's back checking, slips on the banana peel, and you know what I mean? And Scheifele's trying to come back. Mittelstadt's the one that can give it to him, and not the opposite, right?
Yep.
Not Lecky to
Let
Mittelstadt.
the skilled player make the skill
Let
play.
the skill guy make the play. I'll go to the net, put my stick down. Hopefully he finds me. Odds are he will, because he is an artist and he's good. Boom, puts it right on his tape. Smart play, but just give it to Mittelstadt.
Oh, and Mittelstadt's, that puck is coming back because of who Mittelstadt is.
Yep.
But Hellebuck has to play it that way because his back-checking forward has the stick down and is trying to do everything to take the pass
you have
away.
to believe in that guy to make a play. At a certain
Exactly.
point.
And
Yeah.
so everybody technically does everything right. The Avs just make the better play.
Yep.
They just make the better play when, as you say, DeMello slips on the banana peel at the blue line and it turns into a clear 2-on-1 and not the likely 2-on-1.
Yep.
Easy. Like, it was just, at that point, you're just like, this is such easy execution. And they nail it.
Boom.
There's no
To a
dicking
T.
around.
Yep.
It's a great pass. He waits it, and he sees it's an empty net. Hellebuck doesn't even push.
Yep.
He just turns around and goes, please let it hit my stick. It did not.
All right. On that note, Game 4, not tomorrow, but Sunday afternoon. If you want to go, get your tickets through Game Time. Go over to the Game Time app today. Use code DNVR when you sign up. Get $20 off your first purchase with Game Time. Game Time guarantees you the best prices on tickets, whether you use their section selector, you get last-minute deals, or even if you find tickets cheaper somewhere else, Game Time will reimburse your account 110% of the ticket price. So, join the 15 million people that have used Game Time to get their tickets, and they even have tickets to the theater or concerts or Nuggets games, you name it. Doesn't even have to be in Colorado. Anywhere around the country, you can get your tickets with the Game Time app. There's a link down in the description. Go download it today. And then, I don't know. Let me ask you guys this. How many fingers am I holding up?
3.
Three fingers. Now, what if instead of my fingers, they were chicken fingers?
All right. Now
They'd be
speaking
better,
my language.
right?
Yeah.
Also, look, delicious chicken at Raising Cane's. Not going to steer you wrong. Their chicken's great. Their sauce is what makes me an addict. Not going to lie. Go get yourself some Raising Cane's. You can order now. Look, we've all known about it here in Colorado for a long time. Raising Cane's, when I was in college, was kind of like the secret spot that everyone knows. Yo, you go here, you get your chicken, you get your sauce, you're having a good time. It's a good day. Everybody's got to learn. Raising Cane's the place to go in and get your chicken and sauce on.
It's one of those places where people from certain parts of the country are like, "What that?" And you're
I
like,
don't know.
"Please let me have an
will
opportunity to teach you. let me ruin your life with this cane sauce."
Best sauce in the league.
So good. So good. You can go get their hand-battered chicken fingers today. They're cooked to order and made just for you, so they always come out nice and hot. Race into Raising Cane's, turbocharge your chicken fingers, and get them even faster by ordering online at raisingcanes.com today. When you do go into Raising Cane's, let them know DNVR sent you. Alrighty, let's get to these super chats with the ridiculous number of you watching. Thank you very much. $20 from Greg, who says 2 of 16. Let's go.
God, it
That'd be
feels
14.
right now feels a lot better than just being at 2 of 16, but that is so much hockey to
That
go.
is a lot of hockey. $2 from Wilson, who says jet fuel can't melt an avalanche.
This is tremendous. A tremendous comment.
I would assume, like, if you actually put like a jet engine at the bottom of a mountain, the avalanche would just fall on it and put it out, right? Like,
If there's enough of it, yes.
I mean, the avalanche implies a good amount of snow. I would.
I mean,
think.
if it's a real avalanche, if it's the 2022 avalanche, definitely
that engine
If
might
it's
not
the-
start.
If it's the 23 avalanche, no,
Yeah, fair enough.
no.
$2 from the Schick, who says vibes, 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 vibes. Dab.
Well said.
$14 from James, who says Mittlestadt needs a contract right now. Well, thankfully he's an RFA, so you're
Yeah.
good on that front.
He'll get one. He's
That
not
will
going
work itself
anywhere.
out.
It's not going anywhere.
$5 from Billy, who says the turning point was Georgi's save on the Toffoli breakaway, kept it within 1, and let the Avs take control. Love you guys always.
It's going to be one of the things I write about in Studs and Duds.
No,
There
awesome.
you go.
Huge save. Huge
Gotta
save.
make saves.
Like Georgiev.
Gotta make saves.
$10 from Michael, who says the Avs are finding their mojo, and Georgie is stepping up. Keep going, boys. Accurate.
True.
$2 from Book, who says, what Winnipeg landmark could the Avs bring back, AJ? We're still 2 wins away from that one. So
Yeah, I'm not ready to have that conversation yet, but I love where your thinking is. I love potentially bringing this bit back because it was a lot of fun.
$5 from DJ. Thank you very much. 5, is that euros or pounds? I can never tell. From Daniel, who says, not always around for post games live, but it's 7 a.m. and I have to work. Early wake up was worth it today. Cheers and big hug. Let's go, Avs. Thank you very much. The Euro fans out here at different
Love
times.
the Euros that get up and are
Yeah.
like, let's start my day with this.
Awesome.
$7 from the incredible Drew, who says, to anyone who says they hope Dylan is hurt, bad, and that F off, not cool. Don't hope for people to be effing hurt. Be better. On to the next.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm with this.
I agree 100%. You never want to see anyone get hurt ever. But what I will say is, you did that to yourself. You didn't have to start that shit after the final buzzer.
It really is a play stupid games, win stupid prizes kind of moment.
Yeah.
I still don't want him to
It
be
still
hurt.
sucks. It still sucks.
You don't, especially in a series, you want best on best.
Yep.
You want to see the best teams going at each other. And if he's seriously hurt and can't play,
Sucks.
which is purely speculative on my part, I have no idea. But that's where all that blood was coming from.
Yeah.
That was on Duhaime's jersey. It all came from his hand.
Yep.
Somebody just sent me
I
a
saw
really
the clip too,
Yeah,
yeah.
a really gross close up of it on Twitter, which
What is it on the hand or?
yeah,
It's the hand. It's
It's-
backside,
So it's
it looks
not
like, but
it's here.
Thank God it's not the wrist or.
I mean,
whatever.
backside could be worse because
It could be it could be wrist too. I don't even know, but it's a lot. It was a lot of blood, and I definitely you don't ever root for injury,
Of course.
Yeah, like it's just not something I'm ever about.
Yep. All right. $10 from Little Mr. Wickles. Multiple games in a row where Jets decide to wait until it's over to pull their goalie. Not pulling him right away during the PP was something. We mentioned this on the watch along.
We
too.
agreed.
Yeah.
Just pull him at the beginning
You're,
of it to
you're
give
down
yourself
3
a,
goals, man. Like,
Yeah, you need the 2-man advantage, and what happened was they waited until there was 30 seconds left or something.
and then immediately got
Devon
scored on.
Taves
Yeah.
got the puck and fired into your net, and it was just like you pulled him, and all you did was give it to the Avs.
Yep.
You never even gave yourself a serious chance at it.
It's wild. $5 from the Walrus, who says, well, 2 solid games later from Georgiev. Looks like I can start trusting my farts now, too. Tarps off, make Eric laugh.
Farts make you laugh. I'm gonna hold my farts. Still,
don't trust your farts, man.
Never.
Those things are just something entirely else lying to you.
$5 from WB, who says, Avs depth so much better than last year and looking like it could be as deep as 2022. Deadline pickups have all been difference makers. Go Avs. I mean, I don't think any team's as deep as that 22 team is, but the deadline pickups were great tonight.
I still want more from Brandon Duhaime. It was fun to see him mix it up at the end, but it's like it's the final buzzer at game 3, and it's the first time I feel like you've gotten into it, man.
Fair.
I want to see more. I want him to play his way into it a little bit more. So
sure.
Not writing him off, but so far been a little for me.
Yeah, but he's been walking the games. He doesn't have tires on his car.
It's true. By the time he gets there,
tired.
It's the third period already. $5 from Larry Rudo with
you say he's tired out.
Yeah. Rudo with the nasty prediction second intermission. He's giving up 4 in this period. He's gonna crack. He's soft. Hashtag truth.
Hashtag gone.
Get him.
Rudo's gone.
Get him, Rudo.
290 from Kay, who says, are the Avs nasty? Go Avs, go. They are nasty.
They're natty.
$5 from EJ, who says, Casey Mittlestadt is meeting his potential and frankly is playing good enough that I think Nazem Kadri would be proud with how high of a bar he left.
Yep.
I'm thinking Nazem Kadri probably wishes he was Casey Mittlestadt right now, but
he's got $49 million.
He's doing all right.
Casey Mittelstadt's like, I don't have that yet. He won't on his next contract either.
He might get like 20 mil. I don't know. Maybe more than 20 mil even. Anyway, $5 from Stefan. Love the game and the fight in every single player. Yeah, it was a great one. And then $2 more from DJ, who says, why puck no hit Connor? Love you guys from Hershey.
That's funny.
This is the best goaltender analysis.
It's a great bit. And then one very generous one from James, who's been giving us way too much money lately. Wish Dylan the best, but F Dylan. There you go.
I think that is fairly stated.
All right, it's almost 12:30, and that's all I got. You guys want to wrap this bad boy up? All right.
I'm going to buy a Mittelstadt jersey for my young one.
There you go.
That's what I'm doing.
You heard it here first. We are going to get out of here. We are off tomorrow, but it is the 12:30 game on Sunday where we have you covered with pregame, watch along, and postgame. So be sure to tune into all that. Check out all of our postgame coverage because we're crazy people who are going to go be up for multiple more hours working on this. Yep. Show us some love at thednvr.com. Also, hit like if you want to become a diehard. I did just drop a piece on Cal Ritchie. Had a great talk with Avs development guy Brian Wilsey.
It's a really cool kind of piece.
Yeah,
too,
it was cool stuff. Go
I'll
check
tell you what
that
else
out.
is cool. Nutella French toast.
Disgusting.
Sunday at 12:30.
The French toast part I'm in. The Nutella hard out.
French toast 12:30.
No, I'm bringing kolaches.
Whatever. Come to the bar. Unbelievable atmosphere today at the bar.
Bar was amazing today, and it was not like during the cup run when it was wall to wall with people and you couldn't move or
just
breathe.
about full seating.
It was the perfect amount of people who were super engaged, really intense, great atmosphere. Really loved it.
It was awesome.
If you're in the Denver area, come back and see us. Come hang out.
Before someone asks, bar opens at 10 Sunday.
The menu is, in my opinion, better than ever.
Yeah, the brunch menu is so good.
It is really good.
French toast, breakfast sandwiches. Oh, so good.
All right. That's it. We're getting out of here tonight. We appreciate y'all, and we will talk to you again on Sunday.
We all silly like the mayor.